Greetings and welcome back to room 303 in our chats with Emily as we are calling our readings through the poetry of Emily Dickinson. We are in the Johnson edition, poem 337. I know a place where summer strives. I think strives is probably the key word of this poem. We are back to the idea of the cycle of the seasons. We are back to the curiosity about death and dying, as we have seen in many other poems. Our assumptions that you've been following our stuff at LearnStrong.net, down that left-hand side, Chats with Emily, our playlist. I'm hopeful that you've worked through our set of introductory comments. I'm hopeful that you can place this poem in the context of the previous 336 poems we just finished with 336, The Face I Carry With Me, another poem about dying. And the idea here is that summer obviously has to end, but then there's that whole thing about what follows afterwards. This is what she says. I know a place where summer strives with such a practiced frost. She, each year, leads her daisies back, recording briefly, lost. But when the south wind stirs the pools and struggles in the lanes, her heart misgives her for her vow, and she pours soft refrains into the lap of adamant and spices and the dew that stiffens quietly to quartz upon her amber shoe. And of course, the amber shoe is summer itself. A wonderful little poem, but I think there's something very profound going on here, and I think she's borrowing heavily from Shelley's Ode to the West Wind, If Winter Come, Can Spring Be Far Behind. There's a hopefulness here in this poem, I think, that's of importance. I know a place, right? Are we talking about Emily's garden, Emily's lawn, whatever, where summer strives? Then this is again the challenge, the strives, challenge. Summer doesn't want to end. Summer doesn't want to go away. With such a practiced frost, we're back to the frost, for example, of 335 or 332, right? She, each year, notice here, summer is understood as the she. She, each year, leads her daisies back, recording briefly, lost. Do you remember that last word of 325 was saved here? Notice the word lost. Daisies obviously takes us back to poem 28, no doubt. But when the south wind stirs the pools and struggles in the lanes, I think, again, strives and struggling is our key word, right? Obviously, the possibility of renewed life is now resurrected. No pun intended, right? In the lanes, her heart misgives her for her vow. In other words, the promise that she will never go away, and yet obviously summer must. And she pours soft refrains into the lap of adamant and spices and the dew that stiffens, right? Because summer must end. Quietly to quartz upon her amber shoe. When we get to poem 364, we'll play this game again. The morning after woe, 'tis frequently the way surpasses all that rose before for utter jubilee. As nature did not care and piled her blossoms on, and further to parade a joy her victims stared upon. The birds declaimed their tunes, pronouncing every word. Like hammers did they know they fell, like litanies of lead. On here and there a creature, they'd modify the glee to fit some crucifix of cleft, that some key of Calvary. This notion of passing is, I think, central to this poem at 2a. There's always, obviously, a longing for summer's return, right? Because summer seems to vow that summer will stick around forever and then obviously goes away. At 2b, I love these key words of strives and struggles. I think that's the right way to read this poem. At 3a, well, obviously, I mentioned it. Shelley's Ode to the West Wind. We've given full lectures at LearnStrong.net. Right, if winter come, can spring be far behind? Obviously, that longing for the return of spring and summer. Finally, at 3b, how badly do you miss summer once it's gone, and how much do you long for its return? Thank you.